Up until this point in history, we have been able to fool most of our senses. You and I at least grew up in a world where we were formed emotionally with a sense of there is truth.
So much of this technology is changing so fast.
You share your ideas going, hey man, I want you to be financially independent. I want to give you tools. I want to give you mental ways of creating this great sort of passive income. Why is this person going to be the winner? He's still a human being.
You almost can't even tell what's real and what's not real. I mean, you can probably better than anybody, but a lot of this technology, because of AI and everything that's happening in the world right now.
Correct.
How does this, like, where do you see this going? And so many people are out of jobs in Hollywood. I live, by the way, I'm only 45 minutes from Hollywood. And so I've always lived out in this area. So I'm California born and raised, and this industry is getting kind of beat up. What do you make of it?
I don't have great news for you. I don't. I used to have a ton of friends who are still holding on to their studio jobs, film or TV studio or network jobs, that sort of thing. And the reality is there is a large part of what is done in Hollywood that doesn't need to be done anymore. That whole sense of, we need to go scout locations to go find a place to shoot this. And it's like, really? There are incredible capabilities to create things in the computer. I'm going to have a son in 8 weeks, and the world he's going to grow up in is a very different one, in that kind of entry-level job of like, let me help make someone's film. Like, no one needs that anymore, And actually, there's a great Michael Crichton book, an old book called Rising Sun. And I'll just do a couple sentences on it, but he talked about this probably 20, 30 years ago, where his book was made into a movie with Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes. It was a terrible movie. Like Phil Kaufman movie was just awful because it just became this chase movie. But the core of his book was this: a murder is committed in this very high-tech building, and someone's gotten to the tapes and altered them so they can't see exactly who entered the conference room to kill the girl, right? That's the plot. But what it's about is Crichton essentially says, listen, up until this point in history, we have been able to fool most of our senses. Memorex is better than, that whole ad where they can reproduce sound. Is it live or is it Memorex? He's like, but we had one sense left to go, is this real? And that was sight. Seeing is believing. He said, that's about to go away. And at that point, there will be no way to test, is this real or not? And that seems obvious for us, like the stuff like, well, we go to court and I show a photo of you, doing something with my wife, and you're like, dude, it's Photoshop, it's garbage. And no one, there's that. But on a deeper level, you and I at least grew up in a world where we were formed emotionally with a sense of there is truth. What happens to my child's generation where they grow up and they're being formed emotionally in a world where there is no objective truth? Any single thing they see, hear, taste, touch, they could be like, maybe it might change who we are. It's never happened before in human history.
It's fascinating to me. I'm actually right now training an AI, my Daniel Alonzo 2.0.
There you go.
And so it's literally being trained right now. We're getting all the kinks out of it. I mean, it still doesn't, to me, it doesn't look as real as I would like it to look. But I
give it a week.
Yeah, give it a week. Exactly. I mean, so much of this technology is changing so fast because, think about it. When because you more than anybody understand this because you went through literally the beginning of the whole transformation of, I was a big Star Wars fan. I loved Star Wars.
Weren't we all?
So imagine in 1977, when this thing comes out and you see flying things in space and flying in swords and, whatever, what was the lightsabers and all this kind of stuff.
Magic.
It was magic. It was absolutely magic. And now, to be able to, I was just watching something. Literally, I could take a picture anywhere in the world or anywhere, and then I can put myself anywhere in the world in 2 seconds flat without any sort of editing, without any sort of touch-ups, without any sort of whatever. And it's just like that. Done.
It is an amazing world, though. Let me point this out. You are right to marvel at the tools that are available now that we couldn't believe 5-10 years ago, right? Totally with you.
Right.
Image generation, text generation, thought generation, all that stuff. Now, let me be clear. A lot of LLMs, which we normally conflate with just AI, call AI, it's really, most people are talking about LLMs, right? ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, right? They're basically a glorified autocomplete.
Right.
Their Google autocomplete just saying, hey man, I know you said these 4 words, these three ideas. Probability from my training says the next word is going to be this. I'll try it out on you. And if you don't like it, I'll try something else, right? So it's basically, it's autocomplete. Now, here's the funny thing is I know people who come to you, right? In real life, through this podcast, through any of the media in which you share your ideas going, hey man, I want you to be financially independent. I want to give you tools. I want to give you mental ways of creating this great sort of passive income life for yourself, right? A lot of those people are going to take advantage of these tools, or they'd be idiots not to, right? Do it, be at the cutting edge. But there's still a thing that's going to differentiate one from the other. You are going to meet 3 people who follow you, and you're going to go, this girl's going to win, this guy I don't know, and that one's lost, right? And it's not because they didn't have access to GPTs. They all did, right? But the interesting thing is the part that still comes down to the person. Why is this person going to be the winner is still a human thing. And that's where I think some of this research around flow states, around the mental tricks that get you there are going to be the differentiator, because we all have a ChatGPT account. Your kid has one, your kid's teacher has, you know what I mean? Like all that's available, but it's that thing of saying, you know what, in these 2 hours, I today want to do the thing that propels me forward. How do I use these 2 hours? Like rocket fuel. And there are too many companies whose business models to make sure you don't use that 2 hours. Can you just scroll? Could you just double tap? Because I make money selling ads. I just want to keep you here. And I love that you inspire people to say, go do it. I'm happy to share some of these tips around flow states if you want. Whatever you think will help your audience the most, let's dig into it and I will share that freely. Where do you want to go?
Thank you for watching our short clips on Alonzo Academy. If you'd like to watch the next short clip, click here.